Welcome to another episode of Discovery. This week on Discovery, we have some fantastic albums that were released this month. Brand new albums that will draw a hole into your fucking skull, into your brain. Okay, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but we had a killer week of new metal. So, like in the normal Discovery format, we have 5 brand new albums to talk about. So, before I start, pop your favourite discoveries down below and let's speed things up. Wow, holy macaroni. Whoa, hello. Oh, that's my cute little cat. Ooh. Darkspace released a brand new album finally after nearly a decade. In case you don't know, Darkspace are an atmospheric cosmic black metal band. So the band hails from, oh my god, Switzerland, Jesus, formed in 1999, and they have released 5 studio albums. They are mainly atmospheric black metal, but they do dabble in weird spacey sounds, as my mate Questy would say. Their first full-length album was Darkspace 1, which was released in 2003, and from then they have released an album after every 3 years. But the gap between Darkspace 4 and then the new album has been 14 years. No, 10 years. Oh my god. This cat, seriously. They usually label their songs on the albums as numbers. All their songs begin with dark, and then the number with the decimal point thrown in here and again. They're a weird band, but holy shit, they have made some killer albums within the atmospheric genre of black metal. So this album has only got one song. It has Dark -2.2 is the longest song they have ever done, and it's the entire album. So there's a lot of atmosphere on this track. The production is a step up from the previous Darkspace albums. I feel a lot of the people might be disappointed in this one. I personally enjoy this. Yes, there is... Will you stop? Yes, there is black metal on this, but it's dabbled throughout the song. There's a lot of close to dancey beats like you're in a rave at times. And this song is very trippy. It put me in a trance when I first heard it. The vocals by Roth are menacing and harrowing in the background, but the drums with the manufactured beats are higher up in the mix. There are some small talking sections and weird synths elements that make this song layered into atmosphere. There is some really good melodies and fuzzy guitar riffs that weave their way through the tracks. Not to mention the choo-choo guitar riff, the chugging guitar riff that I like. You are sitting there and listening to it while you are staring at the white wall in front of you. That 47 minutes goes by so fucking fast. The drums and electronic beats are on this, are hypnotizing at times, and this is an hypnotic album, especially the last 20 minutes of the song. 85% I'm giving it. It's hard to rate just one song, but I've heard it a few times now, and it gets better every listen. So let's move on to something epic. Yes, Far Beyond released their 3rd studio album called The End of My Road, released independently on 16th of February. Far Beyond are a symphonic, melodic death metal band from Germany. They formed in 2001 and have released 3 studio albums: An Angel's Requiem, A Frozen Flame of Ice, and now The End of My Road. This is apparently a one-man project. Jürgen, he does all the instrumentals and vocals, but he has apparently hired a few musicians for recording sessions on these albums. So if you like high orchestral symphonic metal, you're probably going to like Far Beyond's new album, The End of My Road. Shredding guitar solos, deep guttural vocals, and killer death metal riffs, accompanied with an orchestra and fast tempo drumming with subtle and prosperous angelic moments. This album is fantastic. This kind of music reminds me of Yari's Winter Sun. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Winter Sun, and fans are eagerly waiting for Time 2 to be announced, but Far Beyond drills the symphonic death metal home with a stunning album, Jesus Christ, like this. There are some elements of power metal in this, especially with the especially with the choir and the songs and epic chants. His vocals on this are fantastic. He can diverse his vocal range sometimes, incorporating harsh vocals with those really satisfying cleans. Each song is long and fun, like the first song, Symphony of Light, is a banger and melodic with an infectious orchestra melody that you won't stop humming once the song is finished. Great vocal overlays on the album, production's fantastic on The End of My Road. Songs like Tempest Fugit and From the Stars and the Crescent Moon are so good with just so many different sections with an abundance of melodies. You get nice ambient instrumentals which create an epic atmosphere. Yeah, this album's fantastic. One of my favourite albums of the year. You'll definitely see this on the end of month list. I'm going to give it, 85% solid symphonic melodic power death metal album. If that's a real genre, this album would be in it. So more epic melodic death metal for you. This whole week has put out some interesting death metal, not the traditional type. Eternal Storm released a new album, A Giant Bound to Fall. This album is completely different to Far Beyond's album, The End of My Road. Eternal Storm was initially formed in Madrid by guitarist Jamie Torres and drummer Daniel Menganto. Over the years, they underwent a few lineup changes. Come the Tide, the debut album, was well received for its intricate compositions and emotional depth. The band sound incorporates elements of death metal, melodic passages, and atmospheric textures, showcasing their versatility within the symphonic melodic death metal genre. And now they released their sophomore album, A Giant Bound to Fall. So Giant Bound to Fall is a long album stretching close to 70 minutes. Very long songs and another symphonic death metal album. The vocals are harsh and aggressive. You get some cool death metal riffs on here, accompanied with the dark symphonic elements. Nice aggressive drums on this. And Abyss of Unreason is a great way to kick off the album. The double kickers on the bass drum really go off in this one. Very nice guitar licks and melodies with an odd blast beat now and again. Listening to this, there's a few breakdowns on this, but there are subtle moments that will transport the listener into a different dimension. The guitars in some songs go well with the vocals, and there are some core elements. Nice solos on this and long progressive songs, deep guttural growls, two clean vocals, which enhances the album into an epic caliber. Songs like A Dim Illusion, A Giant Bound to Fall, the self-titled track, and Lone Tree Domain are magnum opuses. With the aforementioned Lone Tree Domain is one of my favourite songs off the album. It has a doomy laden section which is satisfying. Overall, very good album by Eternal Storm. So for Giant Bound to Fall, give it another, 80%. Well, throw in these 80% like nothing. Look, if an album is good, it's good. And I'm going to critique it, honestly. So yeah, check out this album. So So we finally go to black metal now. A German band, Farsot, released their new album, Life Promised Death, released 16th of February through Lupus Lounge. Farsot is a German black metal band formed in 1999. Known for their atmospheric and avant-garde approach to black metal, they have maintained a relatively enigmatic presence in the metal scene. The band released their debut album 4 in 2009, which garnered attention for its unconventional and atmospheric sound. Farsot continued to evolve, and in 2011 they released Insects, an album that further showcased their experimentation with black metal elements, incorporating elements of post-rock and avant-garde influences. So when I first heard this album, I was like, okay, this is good, but it could be better. But the magic happens when you listen to the album again and again and again. Very harsh blackened vocals on this with a mix of post-rock and black metal mixed between the avant-garde substances of this album. Great production on this, very modern sounding and quite clean, but very good guitar melodies. Some interesting songs on this, like the heavy fucking batshit crazy song Buoyant Flame. The nice clean guitars on Stray Dogs, but still maintaining the heaviness. Chimera and Into Vertigo are fucking fantastic with an eerie tremolo picking and cool drum patterns. Nice fills and tight intricate cymbal accents and fills on the drums. They do utilize cleaner vocals on this album, such as the song Buoyant Flames. Yeah, this is a pretty solid album. I love how the vocals at times sound like Attila's from De Mysteriis Dom Satanis, especially on the song Stray Dogs. There's something with this album cover as well. Grayscale with a hand melting like wax. The moment I saw that, I just wanted to listen to it. So yeah, the vocals are clean at times. Yeah, so very good album. I'll give that around 75%. Still enjoy listening to it, and I know this album will grow on me with subsequent listens. So yeah, 75% it gets. The reason why it's not higher, maybe because of production. I would like the production to be a bit more dirtier, if you get what I mean. Like something sounding out of the second wave of black metal. It just would have made this album better in my opinion. So the final album on Discovery is the black and death metal band Necrowretch, and the new album Swords of Dajjal, released early this month, 2nd of February, through Seasonal Mist. Necrowretch is a French black and death metal band that formed in Valence in 2008, founded by the guitarist and vocalist Vlad. The band has been known for its raw and aggressive style within the black and death metal genre. They gained attention with the demo Rising from Purulence in 2010, showcasing their intense and traditional approach to black and death metal. Necrowretch's debut full-length album, Putrid Death Sorcery, was released in 2013, solidifying their presence in the underground metal scene. Over the years, Necrowretch has continued to release albums like With Serpents, Scourge, the 2015 release, and Satanic Slavery in 2017, further establishing their reputation for ferocious and uncompromising death metal. So I'm calling it black and death metal because there are a lot of elements on this album that are death metal on this, and black metal. Swords of Dajjal is very black metal orientated. It's got crazy blast beats, insane vocals, and just shredding guitar. It's an intense album and the production is crisp. Doesn't really have the black metal production. Overall, guitars and drums are like a marriage to each other, and the album cover is fascinating. It looks like some Japanese zombie is about to behead himself. What I'm assuming is the Sword of Dajjal. Love the vocals on this. The vocals make this album twice as heavy. The frightening tones on this album. You know this is very black metal with the way the drums and guitars are playing. This is mainly black metal. De Maru, Vae Victus, and Total Obliteration are my favourite songs off the album. It's a fun album. Nevertheless, so it's going to get an 80% just because of how heavy and beautiful at the same time Sword of Dajjal is. Awesome guitar licks and melodies on this.
And the black pictures would come from
So yeah, we did it. That's another episode of Discovery done and dusted for another week. Let me know what you discovered this week, whether old and new. Another big week on the channel this week with plenty more content. Join me next time where we talk another 5 bands that have released albums in February. It's been fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Say goodbye.